Hello, everyone. Uh, my presentation today is on COVID-19 pandemic and medical device local manufacturing. And I will speak more on the regulatory challenges and opportunities with an example from South African experience. The teamwork or the group that was invited to work on this task was called a ventilator expert committee, was appointed by the South African Health Product Regularity Authority. And the ventilator expert committee team was, the members were including physicians, pharmacists, engineers, and all of them have long experience in critical care and regulatory affairs. And these are the names of the participants in the committee. A description of the project or the work aims to highlight challenges, opportunities, and success stories in response to the anticipated shortage of medical equipment in healthcare system as a result of the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. That is a situation faced every country around the globe, and it required urgent action in various settings, whether countries who have local manufacturing or does not have. So every country was asked to look for immediate solutions. South Africa was one of the countries that hit hard by the pandemic, and there are lessons to learn from the South African experience as they have joined the globe in combating the pandemic. Goals of the project and the final users. The goal of this project was to investigate challenges facing countries and at the same time look at the South African experience, as many other countries faced similar challenges in having access to proper medical device. And the beneficiaries of this project or the work, basically all the stakeholders, including health facilities, patients, and industries. Background to this project, South Africa generally does not have an established ventilators local manufacturing industry. So it's one of the countries that do not have local manufacturing industry for ventilators. With the anticipation of shortage of ventilators due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, the South African Ministry of Health and the Department of Health has issued a call out for all industry partners to engage in activities so they can work on the development of local manufacturing ventilators. The agency or the body that's responsible for the regulatory affairs is called the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAHPRA. And SAHPRA has established an interim expert committee on COVID-19 ventilators, and the committee and the members I highlighted in the second slide of this presentation. And the first task was to establish a minimum requirements for manufacturing rapidly developed invasive ventilators. And the committee had its first meeting on specifications, whether in country or internationally. And because World Health Organization, together with the Clinical Engineering Division of the IFMB, has engaged in developing specifications of ventilators, the WHO has published those specifications and made it available for all countries who are interested in using these specifications. So that was the first engagement and the first action taken. And in that meeting, it was decided to consider a second line of support, and that is the specifications published by the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MERA, in the UK. And because MERA has published two different guidelines and specifications. One is for the rapidly manufactured CPAP systems, and the second is rapidly manufactured ventilator systems. So the two guidelines with the specifications published by the World Health Organizations were merged together, and a set of specifications were made available for all industry stakeholders to consider in their manufacturing. And SABRA has sent a call out to all industry partners and provided them with the specifications. But in addition to that, we have provided them with a background of the regulation and the act that we use in support of this activity. And in South Africa, the medical device regulation and the background to the regulation based on the Medicine and Related Substances Act, which was issued in 1965, and that is called Act 101 of 1965. In that act, we have a section 21, and with the provision of that section, SABRA may authorize any person to sell during specified period any medical device which is not registered. Any medical device sold under section 21 may be used for such a purpose during the license period. SABRA may at any time by notice in writing withdraw any authority granted in terms of the act, and SABRA's intent is to foster the continuous availability of safe and effective medical devices while being flexible regarding the modifications made to ventilators in response to COVID-19 public health emergency. So SABRA has also developed an essential principles checklist and shared with all manufacturers interested. And in the essential principle list, we have the general principles, and based on the use of medical devices should not be compromise health and safety. The design and construction of medical devices to conform with safety principles, medical devices to be suitable for intended purpose, and we have to consider the long-term safety and the medical devices not to be adversely affected by transport or storage. And the most important aspect is the beneficiaries and the benefits of medical device should outweigh any undesirable effect. So based on that, SABRA was engaged in evaluating applications and issue authorization as per the conditions of the Section 21 authorization and the establishment license. Application for medical device establishment license to manufacture medical device in terms of the provision of the Section 21 of the Medicines and Related Substance Act. SABRA authorization and license was valid only for 12 months or until the cessation of the circumstances, and applicants were requested to submit applications for the extension of Section 21 authorization and license after the expiry of the first 12 months. Additional documents are required, including motivation, full report of adverse incidents, performance report of the medical device. So all applicants that asking for extension should provide these documentation. In response to this call out, SABRA and the expert committee received 15 applications during the past 14 months. And these applications were evaluated against the specifications, which was a combination of the WHO published and the MERA guidelines used as well. So all applications were evaluated against the specifications, and we have requested applicants to provide documentation and extra explanations throughout the evaluation process, which was a lengthy process, and the process has not stopped, but the first phase of the process was successful in issuing 13 medical device licenses to manufacture, and Section 21 authorization were issued to 13 different manufacturers. The product includes both non-invasive and invasive ventilators, and some of the licenses are due for extension, and we are in the process of looking at applications for extensions. The current situation does not provide us with any records of the number of locally manufactured ventilators sold in South Africa in the local market. And we expect some of these ventilators to find its way to other African countries. Here is a list of Section 21 licensed ventilators, and the list includes the 13 models of ventilators that was licensed to be used in the South African market. So you can look at the number of the devices were licensed. The results of this project, SABRA has shown success in supporting medical device local industry through adoption of proper regulatory system and procedures, which was a challenging task to select the proper specifications and adapt the current regulatory system in South Africa to support that. The flexibility of applying the Act was clear from day one. It should not mean that we compromise on the safety and efficacy of the product. The South African companies have shown commitments to finding solutions to critical health concerns and have proved their technical capabilities to develop proper medical devices. The challenges in times of crisis created opportunities to develop a sector that has been ignored for years, and we can claim that South Africa has made success in developing local manufacturing industry for ventilators, which can be built on and move ahead and create other manufacturing industries for other medical devices and medical equipment. And for any further contact or information, please contact me. This is my email address. And thank you for joining me in this presentation.